There's something I just noticed. You know, we are from Chibuli. For us, there was a season. Why I stick to that a lot. We have had different heads of the school. During our time, there was a gentleman, head teacher, called Haji Abbas Kawasa Mukasa.
Very famous
headmaster general.
Yes.
The man with the international signature.
Yes.
Then there came Matovu, there another like that. But realize that every generation of a head teacher, the products have something in common for that kind of leadership.
Because there is that leadership.
For us, the guys who came out during the reign of Haji Abbas Kawasa, there's a way we bond quickly. Why? Because there are certain things you share in your conversations. Because remember, the leader of this institution has a lot of influence on the choice of teachers, choice of doors, metro, there's a way, the choice of things, the way school is run. And trickles down to the students.
Okay.
You can say, no movies on weekend, no inter-party, inter-house parties. No, that will be a different one. They'll behave differently. Then there are those who say with me, he was so much sports. You know that we used to go out of school to go to watch sports. The whole school can get permission to go to Nachivo.
And is the buses just
and they come back all to school and none of them sleeps out. We were a school without a fence. But the discipline was through the roof. Take it back to the home. Kawasi never used to call us by our names. Mpanga. No. No. That you, Mona. Gwe Sensamba. Gwe Chisitu. He calls you by the name of your father. Do you know what that means?
Indoctrination.
This is the man who knew people.
He reminds you.
He shows you that I know you beyond what I'm seeing.
And you being here, you're representing a name.
Now, there is that thing that those are products of Kawase. There's a way they bond quickly because we share so many experiences during the same time.
But you're saying that all now, your habits stayed with you.
Go back to the home setting. Because you brought up this upbringing, cautioning your children, counseling them, talking to them, being friends with them, by the way. You have to give bittersweet love to the children. It's not always bitter. No, it has to be bittersweet. Today you are calling, tomorrow you are hugging, you're laughing, you're jumping, so that they can open up to you. The people at home, how you groom these children. That's why you have a saying these days that abana bo mulembe guno. Children of this generation. For us during our generation, because the parents all had almost similar, they went to the same schools, Namidiango, Bodo, Mengo, Chibuli, Gayaza,
similar upbringing.
There's a similar upbringing of the parents, which led to the way the parents also used to caution us on certain things. That's why you see, during our generation, you find fewer children doing substance abuse. Because it was a taboo to be a drunkard. So-and-so's son. We used to hear so-and-so's son. How will they hear in the village, at home? Currently, we're having a challenge of mental
health,
substance abuse. We have LGBTQ. We have, now this generation also has different things. Now, while we have social influence over these children these days, we are from a different generation. We have entered into another generation with all its challenges. Very many parents are overwhelmed. When we were growing up, we started with the Nokia 3110, those things of ours, the Motorola's.
Yes.
Now people are swiping.
Yes.
Parents have to adjust to AI. Parents have to adjust to the fact that porn is no longer in the Playboy magazine. It's on the phone and for free.
Easily accessible.
So there are so many things out there that attract these children to choose the wrong friends.
Where parents have zero control.
where parents have zero control. But with the other thing you did at the beginning, you cautioned, you shared with your child.
You prepped
the child. There's a way that thing, the how they call it, the exclamation mark, that caution.
Oh, yeah.
Whenever they're going to do something, the caution thing beeps. It beeps. Don't be fooled, it beeps. In whatever thing they do, it beeps. Then some say, friends say, let's go, come on. There'll be nothing. Pure influence sweeps in, but the other thing beeps.
Yeah.
If you are lucky and God helps you and this child say, no, how will my mom or my dad hear that I was in this? No. Guys, no, let me just have a soda. But you should have told your child that you can booze and get in trouble and ABCD. This child will come, sneak away with the friends, try the drink for the first time. With all its consequences are here, they will puke, they'll get confused. Then they will say, no, this is not good for me. Some will say, no, I'll try again. That class will also be there. The endurance. The endurance is both ways, in good and bad and good and evil. You endure to do good, others endure to do evil.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's why we say you have to have a lot of prayers.
Yes.
You have so little control here. But when the kids are out there with themselves, those are the professors, they're the experts, his peers. They're the experts. For you know nothing, in fact, about booze. For you only knew Kelab Pilsner and the Bell. With them they have a variety. They tell you, Papa, you don't know these things. We even have shots. Yeah, I won't take the other big bottles. They will say things that they think you don't know. So as a parent, you can only pray, do what you can, so that at the end of the day, you don't regret that I didn't do anything.
Exactly.
At least you played your part. There is that thing that consoles you that at least I played my part. Instead of having this, I wish I had.
And of course, if you played your part, and at the end of the day, God willing, you have that time. Sometimes, or most of the times, young people grow out of it because they also have their whole life to lead ahead, and they realize, yes, I can have fun, but at the same time, I can be a serious person. I can hang out with friends, but I don't have to make a fool out of myself. It has to be a balanced lifestyle and the like. And I think this gray area where young people are not definitive on the consequences of their actions, or when they are growing up, or when they get overwhelmed with enticing things and the like, be it technology, be it lifestyles or anything else, I think that is the tricky area where we have to be sure that they have a social support system, hopefully through friends, that can help them to navigate and to make the right choices. But as always, we talk about these issues so that you get that kind of perspective and then look back on your own family and then see what you can do, what steps you can take.
Do you know, I have to feel sorry for the children, and we have to pray very much for them. I'll give you $1 million question. Why would you go for an S25 Samsung Ultra when you have a well-functioning S24 Samsung Ultra phone? As an adult, you want to caution the other kid.
I was going to ask you, but isn't this the same thing that happens in adults? You're talking about adults, yes.
Now you are being influenced that the other phone is doing better. When all you can do,
Pro Max, they call
all you can do is, hello, okay, let me text you, let me send you SMS, let me send mobile money, let me read my mail, period. But you're buying a phone, which is twice the price, the one you're holding,
yes,
with functions you don't need.
You don't even use.
But you want to belong.
Yes.
Why would you do that as an adult who knows well that, come on, it adds nothing. So the same happens to our children. They want to belong. They want to be seen to take the shots in the bar. They want to be seen to be flying out. They want to be seen the people who are smart, who are training on social media, who know the songs, who know the sports out, who love football. You know, there's some things. You want to belong. That's what the parents are also doing. Why would you buy a Range Rover, the newest model, when actually the one before it was just doing fine? And yes, you and your wife and your 2 kids. It's the influence of society. Even as adults, want to be seen, want approval. We seek approvals from people who don't care whether you had supper or not. We seek approval from the neighbor, from the workmates, from the clan heads, from the village at home, the neighbors. Approvals for what? That's the evil of society that you have in now. But to the kids, it has come in an advanced way. It is technological.
You called it a fast lane.
That's why you are wondering, why do people wear these torn jeans to the extent that they're almost walking naked? They're seeing them here. They're the ones trending. So that's what he is choosing over your words of wisdom. Don't walk naked. Go to church on Sunday, dress modestly.
Yes.
Please. You're going before God. How do you dress such a skimpy thing? But the kid on social media, they say, it doesn't matter. Come the way you are. you know.
Yeah.
So they're choosing to listen to the virtual people than the physical people at home. So you, the physical people at home, do your best to insert your influence in a friendly, fatherly, brotherly, sisterly, whatever it is, manner to this. Be everything to this child, so that this child can pay attention to what you are saying, instead of don't.
It.
Yeah, because when you go with cautions only, there's a way they will shut you out. They are just there hearing what's coming through here, going not through the neck, even going through the nose. People say, when I tell you something, it goes through this ear to this one. No, this time, the ear, the nose, the mouth, even the hair, some of it evaporates. But when you said a lot of words which were useless to them, they remember these words later on. And to my parents, my fellow parents, in a bid to fight to help our children find the best choice for friends, we are investing friendship within our children later on. When you are not a friend of your child, when they're in that infancy, they'll never be your friends when you are worn out, when you're retired and home.
Someone actually said, I remember.
They will not.
Someone said, and maybe that's going to be our last point. Someone said that whenever you do good by your children, and every act of friendship that you do for them, and that's what this person said. Every act of friendship, he said, as a person who deals in finances, auditing and the like, he said, every time you do good for your friends, as for your children, child, you deposit.
Yeah.
He said, so be cautious that you don't withdraw more than you deposit. So he said deposit and deposit, and said why? Because like every other thing, later on you will get to benefit from those deposits. But he said, but if your account is empty in terms of friendship with your child, when the day comes, you will see the serious effects of having an empty account.
That is at Christmas time or end of year.
Yeah.
Now, with me, I'm telling you the importance of that. When you are having your child or your children, treat it like a transaction that you have a bank account. You're depositing and expecting benefits at the end of the day. Yeah. Not only when you're old. Let me tell you something weird. When one of our parents had challenges, we had to look for a doctor who has almost become a family doctor, Dr. Sebata. All our friends were Dr. Senyonjo, Dr. Sebata. They become household names in our homes. That's the OBs.
Friends.
That's what I'm telling you. They are doctors, they are the Judge Sekana, you know those people. There's a way you just do, kuru kuru. Hello, Dr. Senyonjo. Yeah, I'm here with your dad, my dad.
Hey.
Tata, your dad has a problem with it. This, wait, no, bring him here immediately. And even the doctors, the Dr. Sachimpis, Dr. Senyonjos, have turned our parents into their parents.
Not turn, they are their parents. They know them.
They are their parents. Thank you. They are their parents.
They know
In fact,
them.
they know them. So at the end of the
When
day,
the parent arrives at the hospital,
Then
Dr.
we-
Sechimpi will be tatate wabaddechi.
even
What
at
happened?
home when you say, "Wantudako na mutabani wange nankebera," now you're not the mutabani.
Eh,
The doctor is the mutabani.
Yes.
So this thing of choice of friends has far-reaching repercussions and consequences
Along the way.
along the way, throughout, that we have to be very, very intentional in the way we counsel our children, advise them, tell them the benefits of making good friends, benefit of good, loving God, loving your neighbors, respect, being modest in your behavior, not showing off, don't be James Bond film title was "The World Is Not Enough."
Yes.
You'll never beat it and say, "I've had it."
You can't consume.
You
all of
cannot.
it. No.
So-
you just can't.
Just go, just be normal. There's no one you're trying to get approval from and all that. The choice of friends is very important, that it doesn't benefit only us.
And I think it's also important to help young people understand that once they find good friends, they should always hold on to those friends. Really invest in holding on to those friends. Recently, a friend of mine who I've known for a very long time, Mr. Mabirizi Timothy, he's an insurer, he does so many things. He was telling me, I was explaining to him about this tool and book that I wrote, Light Up. And when I was explaining, he actually smiled and laughed and he said, "This is very interesting." And he told me, I go to some of these schools where I was when I was still in school, and I talk to the young people. And he told me one of the things that shocks him is when he goes to these schools, he tries to interact with the students, asks them, okay, how are studies, how is the environment and the like. And then he asks them, okay, what kind of games do you play here at school? What kind of sports are you involved in? Are you in clubs? And he told me what really shocks him is that every time he asks these questions, most students just decline. No, me, I don't have time for sports. I'm busy with academics. Those things we don't do. They are there, but we don't have time for that. And then he told me, it shocks me to the point that I feel I should talk to the head teachers to tell them maybe you should make these activities mandatory. Because he told me, Herbert, some of my life friends who've helped me, and he mentioned exactly what you just said. He told me, I have bankers who are friends, I have lawyers, I have doctors, I have real estate developers. He told me I have friends across board,
The whole
business,
spectrum
yes.
there.
And he told me, but all those friends are products of my childhood, and I went with them to school. And then he told me something that was so interesting. He said, most of my closest friends who are very powerful people, what surprises me is our friendship wasn't even forged only during the time that we were in school. But he told me, when we were playing football at school, when we were in debate clubs at school, when we were discussing questions in school, these are the people who became my friends, and we've never parted ways. He told me they're either my sisters or my brothers. That is my family. But he said, these people are in big places, and if I need help with those spaces or whatever, I don't have to make a point. I just call, they'll tell me, go and see so and so, go and do this and that. And I think it brings out the gist that if we help our children to build the social capital of having good friends, and I say good friends because you can have some problematic friends, but good friends, I think that is a very, very good investment in their lives.
Do you know, Mr. Mona, that, like I told you, for us we have courts between years. Ours, there's one, we have a cluster of those who entered between 85 and 86.
You're talking
In
about Chibuli, okay.
It's called Chibuli Club. The one,
Yes.
Chibuli Club. This group, others also have theirs.
Okay.
In this
So
group,
you have chapters based on years.
that cluster, Chibuli Club, is the best example I'm telling you of friendship.
Your cluster.
Yeah. These are people we met in secondary school, some in primary school. Primary school.
And then you joined
together.
secondary together.
Even those from different schools joined together in Chibuli.
Yes.
From different schools. But when we got
and
here,
they came into
it
this
became
culture.
This culture.
Yes.
One. Herbert, I can tell you that people wonder whether we are. They say, why don't you join a lottery or something like that? Because what you're doing is for this. We became so much like brothers that even those of our friends who you see are digressing, you know, the world can squeeze in a different way. We try to bring them on board and counsel them and guide them and help them.
As they
Why?
say, you are your brother's keepers.
They are not listening to their parents. They cannot listen to their peers, us, more. Do you understand that thing?
Yeah.
That even those who are having their challenges in their marriages, in their homes, they don't report them to their parents. They report them to the brothers. Then the brothers talk to the brother.
And in that, you're saying that there is a high element of trust and that I have your back.
Wait, that's why we're saying the choice of friends.
Yes.
Because then at the end of the day, like you said, Nira, umeme, water, banksy, insurance, hospital, police, UBDF. We have everywhere. Someone just goes to the group, people, I have a BC, no, just talk to so and so. Yes,
the number is on the club.
The other thing is like burials, where there are births, good times, bad times, we want together. We even build homes for people. We build a house for a friend, for an OG who got challenges and got children, help them. We help them. We donate tents to different shelters, you know, different tents to different schools, not Chibuli, different schools.
Okay.
Nabisunsa, Chitante, where we donate. We do different, so many causes, but because of that brotherhood, a person proposes, guys, where I am, the orphans ABCD. They bring them to the family of the brotherhood. For us, we do the needful. Let them be weddings. Some people are not even around. Then diaspora. My child sat PLE, my son S4, how do I get a school? She got these points. We say, just relax. Ask the parents of that kid do the needful and get the slot for the kid. We do that. It shows you the importance of the guiding we got from the beginning. That most of these people, we know the parents. That's Haji Sanja, that's Haji Chisitu, that's Haji Mayanja, that's Haji, we know them, even they know us.
But it also comes back to the last, to the point where we'll bring it up to a close, but it also points to something that you've just highlighted. We talked about it some time back. How often do we share? Because there is always this mirror projection that here we think a parent is a parent, a child is a child. We don't even talk, we don't chat. And sometimes we feel there are so many things where I think we would have used the opportunity to talk to our children and show them the value of what you're saying. And in a way that the child will understand it, okay? Not sharing problems or whatever, but you look at the benefits and the like beyond what they see. Because what you just said, when I was sitting here listening, I was asking myself, how often does Mwami Mpanga sit and tell his sons, his daughters, about the benefits, text them and say, you see that place? Yes. You see all those new tents or this school? You see this new library? That's our effort. I want to tell you a story of how that effort came about. You know, once upon a time I was in school like you guys, and all my friends that were in school, now we are adults, we came together, did this and this, so that children can begin to understand, oh, so friendships can bring you to this without you having to tell them, what kind of friends do you have? Because the tail end of what you just explained and painted as a picture, very powerful, that you're talking about the bond, the trust, the backup, the insurance of social capital. Even as you grow and you age, we are looking after each other and the like. Someone is in diaspora, their child is taken care of by this brotherhood and the like. And I think sometimes these stories can help our children to actually get it. Otherwise, sometimes we can just tell them, no, you shouldn't do this. What kind of friends do you have? How am I supposed to appreciate the friends that you're talking about when you've not told me about your own history and the benefits. And at that time, remember, their lenses are different. They're not talking about, they're thinking about these benefits of when I'm 60. We are talking about a teenager.
Another time they asked me, but Papa, do you have any friend who is not from Chibuli? I said, yes, very many. But every time you saw people from Chibuli only. Your doctors, Dr. so-and-so, so-and-so. For you, I told them, no, I know people from other institutes, because from Chibuli, I went to university, I went to the world, I worked with the telecom company, I know very many people, but those friends of Chibuli are my childhood friends.
It's where my roots are, yes.
Those are my childhood friends. I'm telling you, make very good friends when you are young here. You realize that they will be very beneficial for you when you get there. So even my children have that challenge now. They say, Papa has very many friends. I do them now for you, how many do you have? I do them, I didn't have very many. But as we bond, more come on board. You remember so-and-so was in this class, he was in this and this and this dormitory. Then at the end of the day, you're in the same environment. So what you talk about is almost shared. So you make the friends, you'll see benefits in future.
Yeah. I think that's it, really. At the end of the day, what you take out of it is help the child to build a social capital of friends early enough if it's possible. Guide them by focusing more on the values that you espouse and those values that you would want to see in your child. And at the end of the day, the child will have decisions to make. I think for us, what is important is to show them the benefits of having friends and the benefits of keeping good friends as we grow and as we go out in the world. These can really come in handy, and they're the first respondents, they're the first brothers and sisters, and as parents we already know this, we see this, and it's something that we need to carefully pass on to the benefit of our children. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.